Hi everyone, this is Professor Benjamin, and we are moving into week 4 of this course. So last week we covered migration, and a lot of you did a great job answering the forum questions. Don't forget, by tonight, 11:59, you have your quiz due on migration that goes along with the chapter in the textbook. A couple things. I graded the population assignment. So for those of you who handed in the population assignment, it did not go as planned. And a couple of the reasons are I think a lot of you just didn't read the instructions for the assignment and you didn't look at the rubric on how I'm going to grade you. It's absolutely essential in this class that you're using sources to back up your facts. So the objective of the population assignment was to pick 5 countries, make proper graphs, and then compare the information in the graphs to make educated, to give educated kind of facts on the questions that were asked. For example, why is life expectancy high in some countries and why is it was supposed to be based on the 5 countries that you chose. So if you gave me an overall thing like, well, life expectancy is higher in certain countries because they have better access to healthcare and better access to food, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for you to explain amongst the countries that you picked, why is life expectancy higher? Why did you see certain trends? For example, a lot of you never picked up that the infant mortality rate in the United States is astronomically high for a developed country. Why? Well, the reason for that has to do with the fact that a lot of people don't have access to healthcare. And then you would have to go and find a factual source, find out how many Americans don't have access to healthcare, and then you include that into your written report as to why the infant mortality rate is really high in the United States for a developed country. There's tons of articles out there on it. So the objective was for you to write a paper based upon the 5 countries that you chose and then compare and contrast those countries. So don't just give me a summary because I could look at the graphs and find out the numbers, but it was to analyze those numbers and try and figure out why the data was the way it was. And so a lot of you struggled with that for this assignment. It's good, we have 1 dropped assignment, so for those of you who might not have performed to the best of your ability on that assignment, you have a chance now to submit 3 really good assignments. Now, if you didn't hand in the population assignment, you're going to have to go gangbusters on the next 3 assignments and make sure you understand my expectations for those assignments so that you get full credit. Okay, because you're not going to get a second chance like those people for the population assignment to understand what I want. The other thing is a lot of you didn't realize like 2 sources had to be included with proper MLA formatting. That was written right in the directions. 1 to 2 pages. A lot of you didn't even give me 1 page. You gave me a paragraph answer. That's just not cutting it at a college level. Okay? I know you have a lot going on. You have other classes, but it's really important that you're submitting college level work. This is a writing intensive course. So if you want to get those credits for writing intensive, then you need to write in this course. It's absolutely essential that we're writing in proper paragraphs, that we're submitting documentation to back up our facts, all of those sorts of things. We really need to do that in this class. So this week, a lot of you did a great job on your migration forums. This week we're going to cover urban patterns, and this might be a little bit of a difficult topic for you. So urban patterns deals with the fact of how urban settlements are set up. They're set up in these different models a lot of times, and there's a couple different models that are out there. So I want to just spend a little bit of time on the assignment because I'm worried, again, I want students to excel on this assignment. Okay, so if you look here, also I just want to show you here the final paper project proposal is coming up. So I want to make sure that you take a look at the topics and choose one, and then you're going to have to fill out the proposal form and make sure you put time and effort into creating a proper thesis for your project that's due. You know, your project proposal is due by October 1st, which is next weekend. So it's absolutely essential that you are thinking about a thesis statement. Remember, a thesis statement is not just a summary. This is not a book report. You're actually looking into a topic to find research on that topic. And the list of topics can be found under the under your project course project instructions for proposal final draft paper. It's under there. I also will be launching the wiki page that the librarian the LibGuide, sorry, that the librarian and I have been working on, that will have tabs set up for each of the topics, and then it's going to have specific information like books and TED Talks and other links that will help you find information for your topic once you have chosen it. Okay, so real quick, I want to scroll back and I want to spend some time going over the urban patterns assignment. So if you click on the assignment, you'll see right here, you'll see, first of all, one down here is the rubric. This is how I'm going to grade you. Now, when you look at the rubric after I've graded you, I'm going to bring in some learning outcomes for the course, but you're not going to get graded on meeting those learning outcomes. It's just whether I think that you've met the learning outcome for the course or not. So don't be shocked if you see a couple extra criteria added here. They are not going to count towards your grade. If you look here are the mechanics. You can click on here and you can look at what it is. The paper is the required length, proper capitalization, proper paragraphs, sources, right here, at least 2 sources used in the assignment. All source used must be tied to the paper using proper in-text citations, proper in-text citations of all sources used in the paper. All sources must be properly cited, okay, on a reference page. And then there's 2 parts to this project. So you can see here on part 2, 3 topics were chosen from the list given in the assignment. Each topic chosen included a clear definition. Each topic included specific examples of the topic in relation to urban models. The information provided for each term clearly represented how the term demonstrates change in the current model. So you'll see I have specifically how I'm going to grade you for parts of the assignment. Here is the assignment. These are the learning outcomes for the assignment. These are not the directions. These are the learning outcomes. So we will be covering the interpret maps learning outcome, and we'll be covering all this information in this project. So you'll see this come down here, but it's not part of your grade. Here's the objective of the assignment. This lesson helps students come to an understanding of the basic elements of urban models outside of North America and more recent interpretations of urban structure. The students may also gain an increased understanding of urban structure models describing North American cities by comparing them to a model describing a Latin American city. The students will understand how the classic North American models are being reinterpreted as new forces act upon change in the cities. So we've had these models, and that's how cities are really created around these models. And then, so there are North American models, how cities are kind of arranged, and then in South America cities are arranged in a different type of model, and so you're going to look at those and you're going to compare and contrast them, and then you're going to look at forces that are changing the way our current structured cities, our models are set up, are being changed by a bunch of things like gentrification, etc. Okay, and you're going to talk about those. So here's some background information. This gives you a lot of the different kinds of models. It'll give you information on, so right here, a summary of all the different types of models. Okay, so there are 3 models, and the concentric zone model, which is right here, and this gives you a little bit of information about them, the sector model, and then the multiple nuclei model. These are the North American models that are how our cities are structured. There are pictures in your textbook of what these models look like. And then there are Latin American city models, okay? And you will look, I give you some information. So here is, this is a JSTOR thing. So here, what you need to do to get to this links to an external site, but you can go to JSTOR through the library site and then just copy and paste the name of this article into the topic area, and this article will pop up. If you're not sure on how to do research using our library's website or how to find a database, I have put a video under the project proposal. Under the project module, I put a video of how to actually look up information using library databases, and one of the library databases is JSTOR. So what you can do is click on JSTOR through the library website and then put this article header in there, and this article will pop up. So it'll give you some more information to be able to complete this project. Also, here are some YouTube videos that talk about the models. Okay, so you have some information available to you. Okay. From all of this information, you're going to list 3 similarities and 3 differences between the classic models of North America cities and that of a typical Latin American city. Okay? So you're going to use information from the different models, okay, and what you've read in your textbook, and then you're going to compare it to the Latin American city model. All right? And you're going to list 3 similarities and 3 differences. These should be in essay format. So part 1 of my assignment, part 1, and then write a page about what are the 3 similarities and 3 differences between the models. And you're going to include sources in there. Because, for example, where did you get this information from? Oh, I got some information from this article and I got it from this YouTube video. So you have sources available to you to give good 3 similarities as well as 3 differences between the models. Okay? The next part of your assignment is to conduct research on 3 of the topics found on the list below, and on each of the 3 topics you choose from the list below, you're going to indicate a definition of the term, you're going to 2 specific examples and a description of how these represent a change in the model, so how is gentrification changing the models, okay, so that'll be really easy. And how does this represent the change from the model? So you're going to give 2 examples. For example, gentrification is blah, 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 blah. Here are 2 examples of gentrification. Here is the reasons why this is changing the current day model of the city. Okay? And you're going to need sources in there, because where did you find the definition for gentrification, and where did you find your examples for gentrification, and where did you find that information? So you're going to need that in there. So you're going to choose 3 from this list: edge cities, decentralized cities, gentrification, high-tech corridors, master-planned communities, new urbanization, office parks, post-industrial cities, techno-burbs, the galactical city, the peripheral model, urban realms, or suburbanization of business. Okay? So you're going to find these. You can look these up. You can find a definition, find examples of what that means, and then how are these changing the models, the normal city models that are out there. Okay? So you just pick 3 from here. So you have 2 parts to this assignment. Part 1 is to give 3 similarities and differences between the North American models and the Latin American city models. And then part 2 is to research 3 of those topics. Tell us what that means, what the topic, define the terminology, give 2 examples of what that means, and then the third thing is to describe how this is changing the way a city looks. Okay? So you could do this. This is great. And you can see 2 pages total, not 2 pages for each, but 2 pages in total. So 1 page could be on part 1 and 1 page could be on part 2. Okay? So 2 pages total. You need to use single-spaced, New Times Roman font. Your paper should contain at least 2 sources, and then you have those sources on a reference page, but you also show where they're used in your paper. Okay, so this is the second assignment, and here's the rubrics from which I'm going to grade you for this assignment. So besides this assignment that's due this week, you have your paper proposal, you have your forum post due by Tuesday, response post due by Thursday, and you also have a quiz on urban patterns. So you have a lot this week. But we are in week 4 of this course, and you see what's coming up. This is all in the syllabus, so if you need to plan out better, you can take a look at the syllabus and see what's coming up. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm looking forward to, more factually based submittals with sources for this week. Okay? Remember, again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I really enjoyed your posts this week on migration. They were great. Have a wonderful week.